What if those grand tales of vanished worlds, the epic poems sung around ancient fires, the whispers of cities swallowed by deserts or drowned by seas, what if they weren't just myths? Imagine, buried under centuries of dust, or submerged beneath forgotten waters, lie the actual remains of civilizations so advanced, so mysterious. They make us question everything we thought we knew about our own past. Get ready, because history is about to get a rewrite. History often feels like a finished story, doesn't it? A neatly bound book, all chapters closed. But peek beneath that tidy surface, and you'll find something far more thrilling, even a bit unsettling. Our planet is like a giant archaeological treasure chest, still crammed with secrets that can completely overturn our assumptions about human civilization. These aren't just fanciful legends. We're talking about real, rediscovered cities that give us an astonishing look into sophisticated ancient societies. Societies that thrived, achieved incredible things, and then often dramatically vanished from memory, sometimes for thousands of years. Today, we're setting off on an incredible investigation into 5 of these archaeological marvels. We'll peel back the layers of time, dive into underwater mysteries, and explore sites that have jumped from myth to undeniable proof of advanced engineering, vibrant cultures, and complex societies from times we once dismissed as primitive. These finds are more than just old stones. They're echoes of genius, proof of human resilience, and a serious challenge to how we see the ancient world. Prepare to be amazed as we uncover 5 lost cities that will truly blow your mind. Our investigation kicks off with a name that echoes through history, a name synonymous with epic clashes, legendary heroes, and that wooden horse, Troy. For ages, people argued whether Troy even existed. Many wrote it off as pure fiction, a brilliant story spun by Homer in the Iliad. It was all so grand, so dramatic it seemed almost too wild to be real. Was it just a symbolic stage for Achilles' fury and Hector's bravery? Or did a real city once stand on the Turkish plains, its walls witnessing a decade of war? For a long time, most scholars leaned towards myth. But the dream of finding Homer's Troy totally captivated one particularly driven, and let's be honest, controversial guy, Heinrich Schliemann. In the 1870s, armed with Homer's geographical clues and an almost obsessive passion for ancient Greek tales, this wealthy German businessman started digging at Hisarlik, a hill in modern-day Turkey. Now, his methods. By today's standards, they were often crude, even destructive. Convinced Homer's Troy was at the very bottom, he used aggressive tactics, including dynamite, blasting a huge trench right through the mound. This, unfortunately, wiped out valuable evidence from later settlements built on top. Some critics say Schliemann in his hurry might have damaged Troy more than the Achaeans in the legend. Yet despite all the drama around his methods, Schliemann's relentless digging paid off big time. He unearthed ancient fortifications, gateways, and famously, a stash of gold jewelry he dramatically called Priam's treasure, believing it belonged to the legendary Trojan king. Now, scholars widely dispute if this specific treasure belonged to King Priam or was from the Trojan War era. It's generally dated much earlier. But Schliemann's discoveries undeniably pulled Troy out of myth and planted it firmly in archaeological reality. Against all skepticism, he'd found a Troy, a city of incredible age. What makes Troy so fascinating, something later more careful archaeology has shown, is its incredible stack of history. Hisarlik isn't just one city, it's a complex mound with at least 9 major layers of settlements, one built on top of the other, showing nearly 4,000 years of almost continuous human life. The earliest, Troy I, dates to the early Bronze Age, around 3000 BCE. A small, fortified start to a long, complex story. Each layer tells of destruction, rebuilding, and cultural shifts, offering an amazing vertical timeline of civilization in this crucial spot linking Anatolia, the Aegean, and the Balkans. Modern archaeologists, including Turkish teams still working there, can now tell these layers apart. Troy II, the one Schliemann mistakenly thought was Homer's, known for its wealth. Troy VI, a larger, more prosperous city with mighty walls, which many scholars today think is a better bet for the Troy of the Late Bronze Age. And Troy VIA, which shows clear signs of a violent end, maybe a siege, around 1250 to 950 BCE. Fitting intriguingly with the legends of the city's fall, finding bronze arrowheads and signs of fire with human remains and layers from the early 12th century BC offers some pretty compelling clues, though not quite a smoking gun, of conflict. The ruins you can visit today show off these multiple civilizations. You can walk by remnants of huge defensive walls from different eras, marvel at ancient gates, and see foundations of homes and public buildings that once buzzed with life. The very stones seem to whisper stories of trade, culture, and war. Troy's strategic spot, controlling access from the Aegean to the Black Sea, surely made it rich and important, a prized location and a major hub for millennia. While Schliemann Priam's treasure claims were romantic and off-timeline, his digs cracked open a window to a past far more complex than anyone imagined. Troy is no longer just a legend. It's physical proof of thousands of years of human effort, a city repeatedly destroyed and reborn, its soil soaked in history. Artifacts found there now in museums like the Istanbul Archaeological Museum and the Troy Museum near the site show off the everyday items, weapons, and adornments of these successive civilizations. Its UNESCO World Heritage status, granted in 1998, highlights its huge importance, not just for Homer's epic, but for understanding early European civilization and the tangled connections between Anatolia and the Mediterranean. Troy is a powerful reminder that even the most epic legends can be rooted in real places, real people, and real events buried deep, just waiting to be found. The enduring mystery of Troy isn't just about the horse or Helen's famous face. It's about the resilience of cities, the cycles of civilization, and realizing that one patch of earth can hold the memories of countless generations, each building on the ruins of the last, creating this breathtaking tapestry of human history that keeps unfolding with every new dig. From Turkey's windswept plains, our investigation now plunges beneath the Mediterranean waves. Off the coast of Egypt, picture a city, vibrant and bustling, a key hub for international trade and religious worship, not as a ruin on land, but as a ghostly world sleeping on the ocean floor. This is the incredible reality of Thonis-Heracleion, an ancient Egyptian port city that vanished under the water over 1,000 years ago, its existence known for centuries only through ancient texts and scattered clues. Before Alexandria rose to prominence in 331 BCE, Thonis-Heracleion was the main gateway to Egypt for all ships coming from the Greek world. It was a melting pot where Egyptian and Greek merchants, artisans, and sailors lived and worked side by side, creating a uniquely cosmopolitan vibe. The Egyptians called it Thonis, the Greeks Heracleion, and for ages, scholars wondered if these were two separate cities or one and the same. The underwater discovery settled it. They were two names for one magnificent place. For centuries, Thonis-Heracleion was little more than a legend, a ghost city. Ancient historians like Herodotus mentioned it, describing its grand temple where the Greek hero Heracles supposedly first stepped onto Egyptian soil. Strabo, another ancient geographer, also noted its location, yet no physical trace of its sprawling harbors or bustling marketplaces could be found. It seemed completely erased. Its rediscovery is a story of modern grit and amazing tech. French underwater archaeologist Frank Gadio and his team from the European Institute for Underwater Archaeology began their painstaking search in 1996. Using sophisticated survey gear, like advanced sonar and magnetic detectors, they scanned a huge area of Abukir Bay. Finally, in 2000, they hit the jackpot, lying about 6.5 to 7 kilometers off the modern Egyptian coast. Under about 10 meters of water, they found the remarkably well-preserved remains of Thonis-Heracleion. This discovery sent shockwaves of excitement through the archaeological world, promising to unveil a lost chapter of Egyptian and Mediterranean history. What Gadio and his team have been uncovering since is nothing short of spectacular. The underwater digs have revealed a city frozen in time, sealed beneath layers of sand and silt. Among the most stunning finds are colossal statues, some over 5 meters tall, showing pharaohs, queens, and Egyptian gods, including a magnificent red granite statue of Hapi, the god of the Nile flood, a symbol of abundance. Imagine the diver's awe as these monumental figures emerged from the murky depths, their stone eyes staring out from a forgotten age. The city was built around a central temple dedicated to Amun-Gareb, the supreme god of Egypt, whom the Greeks identified with Heracles. It was here that pharaohs came to receive their titles of power. Recent digs in the temple's treasury have turned up a hoard of precious items, finely crafted silver ritual instruments, exquisite gold jewelry, and delicate alabaster containers for perfumes, offering a glimpse into sacred rituals and the temple's wealth. Huge stone blocks from the temple, found under 3 meters of hard clay, tell of a violent collapse that contributed to the city's doom. Beyond the main temple, archaeologists found a Greek sanctuary to Aphrodite, filled with imported ceramics and bronze artifacts, more proof of the city's Hellenic connections. The Thonis-Heracleion itself was intricately designed, the network of canals crisscrossing the city like an ancient Venice. With homes and smaller shrines on islands within this watery landscape, the sheer number of maritime artifacts highlights its role as a top trading hub. Archaeologists have cataloged over 700 ancient anchors and, incredibly, more than 70 shipwrecks, dating from the 6th to the 2nd century BCE. These silent witnesses tell us so much about the intense sea traffic and the kinds of ships that sailed these waters, carrying goods from all over the Mediterranean. Their cargoes, along with everyday items like pottery, coins, and jewelry, give invaluable insights into the city's economy and daily life. But how did such a prominent city just vanish? Unlike cities wiped out by war or slow decline, Heracleion's fate was sealed by nature. A series of earthquakes and tsunamis likely triggered devastating floods. This caused widespread soil liquefaction. Basically, the saturated sandy ground beneath the city lost its strength and behaved like a liquid. The immense weight of Heracleion's heavy stone temples and buildings became too much, and slowly, the magnificent city sank beneath the waves. Eventually covered by sand and silt, disappearing from view for over 12 centuries. Frank Gaudio estimates that even after years of digging, only about 5% of the ancient city has been rediscovered. That means Thonis-Heracleion still holds countless secrets. Each mission brings new discoveries, constantly enriching our understanding of this amazing port. The artifacts brought to the surface, shown in international exhibitions, are tangible links to a sophisticated urban world that thrived at a crossroads of civilizations. Thonis-Heracleion's rediscovery powerfully shows how much of our ancient past might still be hidden, not just under soil, but also beneath the world's oceans, waiting for the right tech and sheer determination to bring their stories back to light. Our hunt for lost cities now leads us inland, to the Balkan Peninsula, specifically to northern Macedonia. Here, at an archaeological site called Gradisht, near the village of Star Karawarman, something pretty amazing is happening. What researchers first thought was just a modest military outpost is, thanks to cutting-edge tech and careful investigation, starting to look like something much, much bigger, an entire ancient city. This could be the lost capital of the region of Lyncus, with some tantalizing possible links to one of history's biggest names, Alexander the Great. For about 15 years, archaeologists have been working at Gradisht. Initially, they were focused on what seemed like fortifications built to guard against Roman expansion. But the story took a dramatic turn when they brought in the heavy-duty archaeological scanning gear. Researchers from Macedonia's Institute and Museum Bitola, teaming up with folks from California State Polytechnic University, Humboldt, used drone-deployed LiDAR and ground-penetrating radar. These technologies are totally changing the game in archaeology. They let researchers see under the ground and through thick vegetation without having to do a ton of digging first. LiDAR bounces laser pulses off the ground to create super detailed 3D maps, revealing subtle earthworks, building foundations, and ancient roads that are completely hidden from sight. GPR sends radio waves into the earth, detecting buried structures by analyzing the signals that bounce back. The data they gathered at Gradisht painted a picture far more complex than a simple fort. The scans clearly showed the outlines of a large urban settlement, complete with streets, public spaces, and numerous buildings spread over a pretty big area. This wasn't just an outpost, it was a city. And the evidence strongly suggests this site might just be the lost city of Lyncus, the capital of the ancient Upper Macedonian kingdom of the Lincesta. What makes this really exciting is its possible connection to the Argead dynasty, the royal family of Macedon that gave us Philip II and his even more famous son, Alexander the Great. According to historical sources, Lyncus might have been the birthplace or a key center for Queen Eurydice, I of Macedon, who was Alexander the Great's paternal grandmother. Eurydice was a powerful figure, an educated woman who played a huge role in Macedonian politics and was key in getting her son Philip II onto the throne. If granted as Lyncus, it would give us an incredible archaeological window into the very roots of Alexander's family and the wider political and cultural scene of ancient Macedonia, before it shot to imperial power. Artifacts dug up at the site, like pottery and coins, have been dated to periods that line up with Alexander the Great's lifetime. But there's also evidence suggesting people lived at Greatish much earlier. It's possibly way back in the Bronze Age. This points to a long history of settlement even before it became a major city. Fitting with the region's reputation as a cultural crossroads with deep historical roots, Lyncus's strategic spot would have been vital, located along ancient trade routes connecting the Aegean world with the Balkan interior, and eventually leading towards major centers like Constantinople. The city would have been a hub for trade, communication, and cultural mixing. Controlling routes like that often meant wealth and political clout. The research at Lyncus is still in its early days. Much of the city hasn't been fully excavated yet. Ionescu, a curator-advisor, archaeologist at the National Institute and Museum Bitola, has said they are only beginning to scratch the surface of what we can learn about this period. Systematic digging, guided by the LiDAR and GPR data, promises to reveal much more about the city's layout, its architecture, how its people lived, and its exact relationship with the Macedonian kingdom and its royals. The story of Lyncus is a perfect example of how our understanding of history isn't set in stone. It's constantly being tweaked and reshaped by new finds and clever research methods. What was once just a dot on an old map, a name in ancient texts, or a site mistaken for a minor fort, can suddenly emerge as a significant city offering fresh insights into powerful dynasties and the complex mix of cultures in the ancient world. The archaeologist's meticulous work, combining traditional digging with high-tech tools, is like detective work on a grand historical scale. Every unearthed artifact, every newly mapped street, is a clue helping to piece together the forgotten story of a city like Lyncus. The chance to learn more about the early world of Alexander the Great's ancestors adds a special layer of intrigue. While we often focus on the vast empire, Alexander conquered discoveries like Lyncus can shine a light on the foundations of that power. The smaller kingdoms, the regional politics, and the cultural currents that shaped the world from which one of history's most influential figures emerged. The lost city of Lyncus, slowly giving up its secrets, reminds us that even the mightiest empires have origins rooted in specific places, each with its own unique story waiting to be told. Our journey zips us back to the sun-baked lands of Egypt, but this time, we're not diving underwater. Instead, we're on the west bank of the Nile near Luxor, ancient Thebes, an area already packed with some of the world's most incredible archaeological sites like the Valley of the Kings and the temples of Karnak and Luxor. It was right here, in this historically rich landscape, that a truly mind-boggling discovery was made in 2020. And get this, it was almost by accident. Archaeologists were actually looking for King Tut's mortuary temple, but instead, they stumbled upon something far larger and, in many ways, even more significant for understanding a golden era of Egyptian power. The lost city of Aten, also hailed as the Lost Golden City or the Rise of Aten. This amazing find dates back over 3,000 years to the reign of Pharaoh Amenhotep III. He was one of the most powerful and wealthiest pharaohs of the 18th dynasty, ruling during Egypt's Golden Age. Amenhotep III was Tutankhamun's grandfather and the father of Akhenaten. It's the famous heretic pharaoh who tried to flip Egypt's religion from many gods to the worship of just one, the sun disk, also called Aten. The discovery of this city, named for the solar deity, before Akhenaten's radical changes really took hold, is hailed by many as one of the most important archaeological finds in Egypt since Howard Carter. Unearthed Tutankhamun's nearly untouched tomb back in 1922. The city lay buried under sand for millennia, its existence pretty much unknown despite its obvious size and importance. The excavation, led by the famous Egyptian archaeologist Dr. Zahi Hawass, started revealing well-preserved mud brick walls, some standing up to 3 meters high, outlining entire neighborhoods. What emerged wasn't just a few buildings, but a large, well-organized city that was a major administrative and industrial hub during Amenhotep III's prosperous reign. This was where the bureaucracy managing the pharaoh's immense wealth operated, and where skilled artisans produced the magnificent art and architecture that defined this opulent era. The state of preservation is truly extraordinary. Archaeologists have uncovered streets, houses, and workshops, looking almost as if the inhabitants had just walked away. Inside these structures, they found a treasure trove of artifacts that paint a vivid picture of daily life. Pottery, tools, molds for making amulets and decorations, jewelry, and even ovens and storage pots with food remnants still inside. Scarab beetle amulets, rings, and colorful pottery give us insights into the artistry and beliefs of the time. Crucially, the city's authenticity and its direct link to Amenhotep III are confirmed by tons of archaeological clues. Inscribed mud bricks bear the cartouche of Amenhotep III, literally stamping his name and reign all over the city's bricks. Wine vessels, also inscribed, provide further dating evidence and even clues about the city's economy and trade. These finds offer invaluable direct insights into the administration, economy, and daily life of a major settlement during this peak of Egyptian power. Atan seems to have been a bustling place. Different districts have been identified: a residential area with houses featuring courtyards and standardized room layouts, an administrative district, and an industrial zone with workshops for metal and glass production, plus areas for spinning, weaving, and making decorative items. The discovery of a bakery and a large kitchen area points to the infrastructure needed to support a big population. There's even a cemetery separate from the royal tombs, which will tell us about the health, diet, and burial practices of the city's ordinary folk. One of the most exciting things about finding Aten is how it could tell us more about Amenhotep III, and maybe even about the wild religious revolution started by his son Akhenaten. While the city is named the Rise of Aten, it was founded by Amenhotep III. He was a great builder and patron of the traditional Amen cult, but he also showed increasing reverence for the Atan during his reign. This city could provide crucial context for understanding the religious shifts already brewing. Before Akhenaten moved the capital to Amarna and declared the Atan the supreme god. Did this city play a role in the early promotion of the Aten? What was life like here just before Akhenaten's dramatic changes? These are questions that more digging might help answer. The city seems to have been abandoned relatively shortly after Akhenaten moved the capital, which might explain why it's so remarkably preserved. It wasn't heavily looted or built over by later generations like some other ancient sites. It simply lay sleeping under the sand. The discovery of Aten is a stunning reminder that even in landscapes as thoroughly explored as those around Luxor, incredible secrets can still lie hidden. It shows just how important ongoing archaeological work is, and how unexpected finds can dramatically reshape our understanding of the past. The Lost Golden City isn't just a pile of ruins. It's a snapshot of Egyptian society at the height of its imperial power, a testament to the pharaonic state's organizational skills and a direct link to some of ancient Egypt's most famous rulers. As excavations continue, Aten promises to reveal even more about the wealth, artistry, and daily life of the people who lived and worked in the shadow of the pharaohs during Egypt's dazzling golden age. Our final stop takes us to the Indian subcontinent, to the hauntingly beautiful and vast ruins of Vijayanagara in modern-day Hampi, Karnataka. This wasn't just a city. It was the magnificent capital of the powerful Vijayanagara Empire, which thrived from the 14th to the 17th century CE, ruling over much of southern India. While the empire itself is well documented, the sheer scale, sophistication, and former glory of its capital, now a sprawling archaeological park and UNESCO World Heritage Site, offer a mind-blowing look into a civilization of immense wealth, art, and military power. Though there's evidence of people living in Hampi way back around 300 BCE, most of the excavated city dates to the imperial period starting in 1336 CE, when Harihara I and Bukkaraya I founded the Vijayanagara Empire. What makes Vijayanagara extra captivating is how its verifiable history blends with ancient myths. The Hindu epic Ramayana mentions the Hampi region by its ancient name, Kishkinda.
Ow!
describing it as the realm of the Vanaras, the monkey gods, led by Hanuman and Sugriva, who helped Lord Rama rescue his wife Sita. This deep mythological connection, combined with the tangible grandeur of its historical ruins, gives Hampi a unique spiritual and historical vibe. At its peak, Vijayanagara was one of the largest and wealthiest cities in the world. Travelers from that time, like the Portuguese chroniclers Domingo Pais and Fernão Nunes, and the Persian ambassador Abdur-Razak, who visited in the 15th and 16th centuries, described a city of astounding size, riches, and bustling activity. Pais, for example, said it was as big as Rome and filled with palaces, temples, markets, and a diverse population. They wrote about a city protected by 7 lines of massive walls that enclosed not just the city center, but also farmland and forests, a testament to its smart planning and defenses. The architectural achievements of Vijayanagara are simply jail-dropping. The style is a magnificent mix of earlier South Indian traditions from empires like the Hoysala Chola and Chalukya, but it evolved into its own distinct, highly ornate form. Temples carved from local granite are known for their massive gopurams, intricately carved pillars, expansive courtyards, and Kalyana mandapas. Among the most iconic structures is the Virupaksha temple dedicated to Lord Shiva, which is still an active place of worship today, its towering gopuram dominating the landscape. The Vitala temple is another architectural masterpiece. It's famous for its exquisite stone chariot, a shrine carved like a ceremonial chariot, and its musical pillars, which are said to produce different musical notes when tapped. The Hazara Rama temple, likely a private temple for the royal family, has stunning carvings on its walls depicting scenes from the Ramayana. These temples weren't just for worship. They were also key social and economic centers, art patrons, and huge employers. Beyond the temples, Vijayanagara's urban core shows sophisticated planning. There were clearly marked royal enclosures, residential areas, marketplaces, and elaborate water systems. The remains of palaces, audience halls like the Mahanavami Dibba, and public buildings showcase the empire's administrative and ceremonial life. Structures like the Queen's Bath, with its ornate arched corridors, and the elephant stables, with their impressive domed chambers, display a fascinating blend of Indian and Indo-Islamic architectural styles, reflecting the empire's cosmopolitan nature. The empire's wealth came from fertile farmlands, managed by sophisticated irrigation systems with canals, tanks, and aqueducts, many still visible today, showing off some seriously smart water engineering. This agricultural bounty, plus extensive trade networks, filled the empire's treasury and funded its monumental building projects and vast armies. The fall of Vijayanagara was sudden and brutal. In 1565 CE, an alliance of Deccan sultanates defeated the Vijayanagara forces at the Battle of Talikota. What followed was the sacking and systematic destruction of the magnificent capital. For months, the city was plundered, its temples desecrated, its palaces burned, and its people scattered. Though the empire limped on in a smaller form for another century, its glorious capital was largely abandoned, left to ruin and be gradually reclaimed by nature. The rediscovery and ongoing study of Vijayanagara have given us an unparalleled window into the society, religion, art, and technology of this great South Indian empire. The sheer scale of the ruins at Hampi, spread over many square kilometers amidst a dramatic landscape of granite boulders and banana plantations, is an experience that truly blows the mind. Walking through its deserted avenues, past once steaming marketplaces and now silent temple halls, you can only imagine the vibrant civilization that once thrived here. Vijayanagara stands as a powerful reminder of the heights human creativity can reach, and also of how fragile empires can be. Its ruins aren't just stones. They tell a powerful story of rise, splendor, and sudden violent collapse. It challenges us to think about the forces that shape civilizations and the legacies they leave behind. Even when their great cities are lost, only to be rediscovered and marveled at by future generations. The stories of these 5 cities, countless others, we haven't fully grasped or even found yet, are increasingly being brought to light by a technological revolution in archaeology. While the archaeologist's sharp eye and patient trowel are still essential, the 21st century has given us tools that allow for discovery and analysis on a scale we've never seen before, transforming how we find, map, and understand ancient cities. One of the most game-changing technologies is LIDAR. It's often flown on airplanes or drones. LiDAR systems shoot millions of laser pulses at the ground. By measuring how long it takes for these pulses to bounce back, they create incredibly detailed 3D maps of the terrain. The magic part? LiDAR can see through dense vegetation, digitally stripping away forest canopies like giving archaeologists X-ray vision through the trees. This reveals subtle outlines of hidden archaeological features: ancient roads, canals, building foundations, farming terraces, and even entire city layouts that have been hidden for centuries. LiDAR has been especially mind-blowing in jungle environments. For example, in the Bolivian Amazon, scientists used LiDAR to digitally deforest the canopy, uncovering the ruins of huge urban settlements from the Kasarab culture. This tech found 26 unique sites, including 11 previously unknown ones, revealing large urban centers with sophisticated infrastructure like moats, ramparts, terraces, causeways, canals, reservoirs, and even pyramids over 70 feet tall. These discoveries are completely flipping our old ideas on their head. The Amazon wasn't some sparsely populated, pristine wilderness before Europeans arrived. Instead, it was home to complex, urbanized societies that actively shaped their landscapes. Similarly, LiDAR has been key in mapping the vast Maya city complexes in Central America, hidden under thick jungles, revealing sprawling networks far more extensive than anyone dreamed. Satellite imagery also plays a huge role. It's giving us a bird's-eye view that can reveal large-scale patterns and oddities, hinting at ancient settlements, especially in dry regions with little vegetation. Different spectral bands can highlight variations in soil or plant growth that might indicate buried structures or old farm fields. Ground-penetrating radar is another invaluable tool that lets archaeologists peek underground without digging a single hole. By sending radio waves into the ground and analyzing the reflected signals, they can map features like walls, foundations, tombs, and even empty spaces like hidden chambers. This allows for targeted digs, saving time and resources, and minimizing disturbance to the site. As we saw with Linkis, GPR, along with LiDAR, is helping define the layout of that ancient city. Underwater archaeology, as the incredible work at Thonis-Heracleion showed, has its own set of advanced tech. Sophisticated sonar systems create images of the seabed and can detect structures buried under sediment. Remotely operated vehicles and autonomous underwater vehicles, kitted out with cameras and sensors, can explore depths too dangerous or inaccessible for human divers. Precise GPS and 3D photogrammetry allow for accurate mapping of submerged sites. Plus, advances in analyzing artifacts are giving us deeper insights. Ancient DNA analysis can reveal information about where populations came from, how they migrated, and even diseases. Isotopic analysis of human and animal remains can tell us about diet and movement. Geochemical analysis of pottery and metals can help trace their origins and understand ancient trade routes. These gadgets aren't replacing old-school digging, but they're giving archaeologists superpowers, allowing for more efficient, less intrusive, and more comprehensive investigations. They're opening up new frontiers for discovery, from dense jungles to desert sands and ocean depths. The lost cities are no longer just the domain of intrepid explorers with basic tools. They're being sought and understood by teams of scientists wielding an impressive arsenal of high-tech gear. This means many more mind-blowing discoveries are definitely on the horizon, promising to further enrich and challenge our story of human civilization. 5 cities. 5 worlds, once buzzing with life, then lost to memory, swallowed by earth or sea, only to be painstakingly rediscovered. Troy, its name a war cry from ancient poems, reveals not one, but an incredible 9 layers of civilization, a 4,000-year story of human resilience. Heracleion, a bustling Egyptian port, emerges from its watery grave, its giant statues, and sunken treasures painting a vivid picture of a multicultural gateway between empires, ultimately brought down by nature itself. Linkis, once maybe just a footnote, now whispers of royal ties to Alexander the Great. its newly mapped streets hinting at the foundations of a world-changing empire. Aten, the lost golden city, materializes from the Egyptian sands like a dream, offering an almost perfectly preserved look at life during Amenhotep III's opulent reign. A city that thrived then vanished, sealing its secrets for 3 millennia. And Vijayanagara, the stunning capital of a mighty South Indian empire, its ruins sprawling across a mythical landscape, stands as a monument to artistic genius and smart urban planning, a testament to a civilization that soared before its tragic, violent end. These aren't just piles of old stones. They're incredible examples of what people could achieve. Our ancestors' amazing ability to create, innovate, and build complex societies with advanced engineering, stunning art, intricate social structures, and rich cultures. Think about the meticulously planned streets of Mohenjo-Daro. Their advanced sanitation, the sheer scale of structures like the Giza pyramids or Vijayanagara's temples. These achievements make us rethink our neat little timelines of progress. They show that sophisticated urban planning, complex government, a deep understanding of engineering weren't just limited to a few famous civilizations, but were found in diverse cultures across the globe. It's often much earlier than we thought. Rediscovering these cities, often with incredible tech like LiDAR that peels back layers of jungle or earth, forces us to face the gaps in our historical knowledge. They whisper of forgotten knowledge, of capabilities we might have underestimated, and connections between cultures we're only now starting to piece together. The advanced astronomical alignments in many ancient sites, complex devices like the Antikythera mechanism, evidence of vast trade networks, and the sheer ambition of their city designs, all point to a human past far more dynamic, interconnected, and awe-inspiring than we often imagine. These lost cities are vital because they connect us to our shared human story. They remind us that civilizations, no matter how powerful, are subject to change, to environment, politics, economics, and natural disasters. But they also showcase the enduring spirit of human creativity and our relentless drive to build, explore, and understand our place in the world. The echoes of these vanished civilizations aren't just whispers from a distant past. They are vital chapters in our ongoing human story, and new pages are still being written with each discovery. They challenge our understanding of what it means to be civilized and remind us that the seeds of our present were sown in these ancient, often forgotten urban landscapes. The quest to find and understand them is really a quest to understand ourselves more fully. The earth beneath our feet and the waters covering so much of our planet are still hiding so many untold stories. The 5 cities we've explored today are just a tiny piece of a vast hidden tapestry of human history, each thread a testament to ambition, innovation, and the unstoppable march of time. From Troy's legendary walls to Heracleon's submerged grandeur, from Lyncus's emerging royal connections to Aten's golden splendor and Vijayanagara's imperial might, these rediscovered cities have forever changed our understanding of ancient civilizations. They've pushed back the horizons of known history, revealing societies of stunning complexity that thrived, only to fade into legend or be lost entirely until modern explorers, with curiosity and technology, brought their stories back. What other wonders lie hidden, buried under shifting sands, concealed by thick jungles, or resting silently in the deep sea, waiting to rewrite our history books yet again? The search, powered by ever-improving technology and our insatiable desire to connect with our past, goes on. Each discovery isn't just for academics. It's a rekindling of our collective memory, a deeper appreciation for the long and varied journey of humankind. If these lost worlds and the incredible stories of their rediscovery have blown your mind and sparked your curiosity, please give this video a like. It really helps us reach more people who share this passion. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our future journeys into the unknown as we continue to investigate the most fascinating mysteries of history and archaeology. And now, we want to hear from you. Which of these lost cities astounded you the most? Is there another lost city whose story you find particularly captivating? Let us know in the comments below. Your insights and suggestions often inspire our next investigations. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey through time. The past is never truly dead. It's just waiting to be rediscovered.